I can't make you love me if you don't. You can't make your heart feel something it won't. Here in the dark, in these final hours, I will lay down my heart and I'll feel the power. But you won't, no, you won't. I can't make you love me. Just start the show.
Loving has been good to me this time around. Things were bound to change when it was found. Sugar never tasted sweeter on my lips. My heart is now intact and I can find no ribs. This is love, yeah, love. Never known true love before. Seen so many counterfeits that left me on the floor. This is love, yeah, love. All will come to those who wait. Time it cannot know the bounds, and eras don't dictate.
Hello and welcome to Xandermonium, the talk show that gets you talking. I'm Xander Gibb, and on today's show, Xander's Soapbox, London Calling with Jeff Kristian, who talks to actor and producer Oliver Yellop, and Betty Chipmonk gives us her breakdown of what's hot and what's not in Watch This Space. And for those of you calling Betty Bitchy Betty, that's not fair. She's entitled to her opinion. This is America, you know. More to come in a mere moment. So you can interact with me via Twitter. You can tweet me. My Twitter handle is @Xander Gibb. XanderGibb. Capital X, capital G, and don't forget that all important @ symbol. Make sure you will follow and keep up to date with what's going on the show and Claude's love life. Oh, yes, indeed. Claude, you've had a smile on your face for like the past 3 weeks. I'm taking it that your relationship is still on. It is? Am I going to be getting invited to the wedding? What do you mean, no? And now it's time for Xander's Soapbox. So as the race for the White House continues, both Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton refer to themselves as presumptive nominees. The name calling and the infighting continues. Paul Ryan openly calling Donald Trump a racist and Donald Trump calling everyone else derogatory names. Now, the Republican Party and the Democratic Party are truly divided in every way at this time, and this has been the most interesting run-up to an election in my lifetime. Now, there is still an element of pressure to ride the Trump train, as it were, and no, before you ask, I haven't as yet bought a ticket. I will not be forced into it, and I really will not be made to feel like I'm less of something for not doing so. There, I said it. I also still cannot buy the anyone but Hillary ideology, and this is the most worrying philosophy. This and better the devil you know. I don't want the devil anywhere near the leadership of the greatest nation on the planet. Now, we have to deprogram ourselves and take a step back and really look at the facts of the candidates rather than the watered down opinions offered by others. I find it amazingly interesting how the ideologies and behaviors are explained away by their parties and their PR reps. Now, some things are not explainable, and no amount of attempting to will do it for me. I respect honesty, and I can forgive the actions of some if they are truly repentant. Now, with repentance comes change, surely, and there ain't no change in some as they continue to double back in and out of the doo-doo. These candidates are really showing their true colors right now, and remember, these are the choices, sadly. Now, we only get one choice in this race unless we choose to abstain, and if we do, it's clearly a vote for the other side. Now, I know some have prayed for guidance as in who to support, me included, and I am a true believer in divine guidance, but I'm still unclear as to where my support lies, and I am hoping that at some point I will actually know where my support lies. Now, many others are in this boat too, and whilst I do not want to bash any candidate, I will not support a candidate that does not go at least some way towards supporting my values and moral code. Republican or Democrat, surely what we all should want is reunification of this great nation, and the divide that has come from the run-up to the election has been dug in lines more further than ever before. Now, whilst I would be the first to advocate regarding how easy it is for someone to be labeled a hater for merely disagreeing, sometimes the cap does really fit. America was built on an ideology of equality and should be displaying that principle and adhering to it. My prayer for this nation is that we rise up and unify and become as great as we once were. We do not achieve this by listening to those who seek to divide us further. We do it by bypassing and speaking out against such things. Now, I don't have to tell people what I am about. They know by my actions, as we should have an idea of someone's character from how they behave. You should know them by the fruits, and some are clearly barren of those fruits. I pray that these things will be revealed. That's it for Xander's Soapbox for this week. If you would like to get on your soapbox, send us your videos no longer than 5 minutes on any subject with no profanity via xandergibb.com. That's xandergibb.com/contact. On this week's London Calling, Jeff talks to actor, producer, director Oliver Yellop. Let's check it out.
Hello, it's Peter Punk here. Did you miss me? Our guest today on London Calling is a really talented geezer. He's an actor, he's a writer, and he's an heartthrob. Who writes this stuff? Anyway, you might have seen him in the movie Out, and he recently had his directorial debut in London's West End. Oh yes, he did. His name is Oliver Yellop, and he is talking to Jeff Kristian. Over to you, Jeff.
Hello, America. London Calling.
I'm delighted to be here today with the very talented stage and film actor, Mr. Oliver Yellop. Thank you for joining us, Ollie.
Not a problem, Jeff. Always a pleasure to be here.
You seem to be able to flip effortlessly between stage and film and then back again. What's the difference between the two? How do the disciplines differ for you?
I once went to like an acting workshop about film acting, because through the whole time I trained, you're only doing theatre, and that's the best that we do. I think, like, this country produces great theatre. The difference that our teacher said was film acting can be done by non-actors, which is true to a certain extent, not entirely, but it is just a completely different animal. But when you're on stage, you're painting in very bright colours. You know, it's the difference between like a Picasso and, you know, kind of like a still life, very naturalistic kind of painting. So for me, I look at them as really quite separate. I love both of them, but they're very, very different animals.
You performed in a one-man show at the King's Theatre, Loving Time of the Gilmore Girls.
Yes.
Just on your own on stage. Yeah. Tell us about that. What's it about?
It is about a young guy called James who is desperately in love with one of his co-workers. And so he's at the office Christmas party and he's desperate to talk to her, but he's always messed up his relationships. He's always had like unrequited love, and it's just a show talking about all of the women he's met, how he's messed it up, and the most embarrassing things he's done for love.
Well, we spoke with June Brown in an earlier episode of No One Calling, and she was talking to us about a particular episode of EastEnders that she won an award for, where she did the entire scene on her own, which is quite rare for instance, the entire episode on her own. And we were saying to her, you know, do you prefer that aspect of working on your own, or do you prefer it when you're bouncing off of other actors? And she said that she actually preferred working on her own because she said she didn't have to think about anybody else. She could work at her own timing and such. How did you feel with being on stage for the entire time on your own? Would you prefer that, or do you prefer working with other actors?
I think one of the reasons that we do what we do is because we love people. You know, we love working, we love performing, and you know, this is the people industry. So I think there is a point where there is quite a disconnect when you're on your own, and you know, kind of like you've got your 5-minute call. And you always want to hold your hand. And it's just
Now, as people will know, you and I have actually worked together on film before, in the Jesus Lopez film Out. And in that film, of course, I played your mother. It's a long story. For the people that haven't seen it, tell us a little bit about that film.
Yeah, so Out, by the Spanish director Jesus Lopez, is the story of a young man coming back to a small town. He's coming back with a secret. He's going to come out to his mother. And now he's got a sister. She's always known. I think they always know. The mother, maybe his mother's always known. And it's basically their journey together and her acceptance from wild disapproval to eventually coming round accepting who he is and who she is as part of that process. And the most fantastic thing about the film is, of course, my lovely mother, who looks absolutely fantastic.
A big challenge for you must have been to take on the role of a gay person. So how did you prepare for that? Did it take much to get your head around? Did you have to do anything different that perhaps you wouldn't otherwise have done playing a straight character?
Yeah, to be honest, like I spoke to a lot of my sort of gay friends about how they're coming out experience was. I did chat with you and about Jesus, about how that's realised. And I think in terms of preparation, like I wrote myself a little backstory. You know, kind of like who was the first boy that I kissed, what was my first crush, when did I first I had it down as Jerry Halliwell at the 1997 Brits when she came out in the Union Jack thing. So I remember watching that and I was like, I'm in love. But from Oscar, my character's point of view was more kind of like I just a different reaction to that. You know, loving it, but in a different way, not being sexually provoked by it, but yeah, still being in awe, but in a different way.
More recently, you starred in a Gabriel Beer Gislason, is that Gislason film?
Danish is always a funny,
called Samuel's Getting Pitched. And of course, it has a very strong Danish storyline running through it as well. Tell us about this film.
So this film is I was very lucky. I worked with an actor that I trained with at Central, and it's the story about two British guys going over to Denmark because one of them's getting married, and I play his best man. And it is an outrageous farce that basically, he wants to say vows in Danish, but then he's lost his vows. And he's told a whole pack of lies to all of that family. We don't see his wife at any point during this. And one of the things he says, again, I play a gay character in that, he tells me everyone that I'm straight, and he tries to set me up with her sister. Which just causes a whole other load of drama and jokes. And it's just a really, it's very touching at the end as well, you know.
This is definitely a guy that you need to watch. Ollie, thank you so much for coming and speaking to us today.
That's it for this week. Back to you in the studio, Xander.
Ollie Yellop, are you watching out there? Do you like older women? I'm just wild about you, Ollie. I'm just wild about Ollie. And Ollie's wild about me. Call me. Xander has my number.
That was London Calling with Jeff Kristian and producer, actor, director Oliver Yellop. London Calling is produced in association with Mr. Binks Media. And now it's time for Watch This Space. Hollywood reporter Betty Chipmonk loves all things celeb, and here she is with her breakdown this week of who's hot and who's not, and what she thinks of the going-ons in and around Hollywood. I give you Miss Betty Chipmonk.
Going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, you lucky people. Betty Chipmonk here, live from Beverly Hills for Xandermonium TV. Now, it looks like ABC's The View are looking for new co-hosts, and I think both myself and Margaret Cho are in the running. Margaret, oh Margaret Cho, we both should host The View, and I want you to know, ahem. Well, apparently they're putting together the final touches after a series of changes in the co-host lineup. Comedian Michelle Collins was sent packing. Yes, she got the boot after a year on the show. And Sarah Haynes, currently an anchor on the weekend edition of Good Morning America, has been fingered for a role. Now, my old pal Whoopi Goldberg, love you Whoop, who's been on The View since 2007, is gonna stay for another year. Let's hope she cheers up a little, because let's face it, she's been a little bitter of late. She had told me that she was looking to bail, but the girl's prerogative to change their mind. In other news, Demi Moore's brunette hair now includes some streaks of gray. Shock horror! Someone alert the National Guard! The 52-year-old actress seen at the taco joint in West Hollywood with her pregnant friend, no it wasn't me, over the weekend. She had a very relaxed look and wore her hair en natural. I'm out of bed and dressed, she said. What more do you want? How about a trip to the hair salon, Demi? It's on me next time I see you. Now it seems the sale of Playboy Mansion is underway with a financier who owns the adjacent property, allowing Hugh Hefner to remain in the house for life. Now if you needed a loan app, I hear the Biebs is a fan and could lend you a few bucks. The sale price couldn't be confirmed, even though the mansion was listed for $200 million and is owned by Playboy Enterprises. Now, according to the terms of the sale, Hef can live in the mansion for the rest of his life, however long that might be. And finally, Richard Simmons, a 67-year-old fitness guru, has returned home after being hospitalized on Friday after apparently displaying odd behavior. How would one know? Simmons also gave a statement saying, "Thank you to everyone who's reached out with love and concern. After hearing I was in the hospital, I was dehydrated and needed some fluids, and now I am feeling great. Summer is here. Drink plenty of liquids. Big hugs and kisses for caring." He explained why he'd been not seen in public in more than 2 years. "I'm not kidnapped," he said. "I'm just in my house right now. No one should be worried about me," he added. "Them people that surround me are wonderful people who take great care of me." Well, get well soon, Richard, and that's all from me today. So, Xander Gibb, it is back to you in the studio.
Confucius says, make sure you switch off your cell phone before taping on a television show, Xander. Thanks to Betty Chipmonk for her personal perspective on Hollywood and those who live in it. Get well soon to the wonderful Richard Simmons. That's it for today's Xandermonium. Don't forget to join my mailing list at xandergibb.com and follow us on social media. Thanks to Jeff, Kristian, Oliver Yellop, and thanks to Betty Chipmonk. Yes, Claude, I'm getting there. Yes, thanks to Claude Jambon. The things I have to do on this show, I tell you. Yes, thank you to everyone who's worked on today's show. Bring me back my sanity, and most of all, you for watching. We will be with you again very soon. Stay cool out there, and we'll see you next time on Xandermonium. I love you all. Bye-bye.
Love, it has been good to me this time around. Things they were bound to change when it was found. Sugar never tasted sweeter on my lips. My heart is now intact and I can find no ribs.
This is love, yeah, love. Never known true love before. Seen so many counterfeits that left me on the floor. This is love, yeah, love. All will come to those who wait. Time that cannot know the bounds, and eras don't dictate. Trouble